Well, I guess it's time to cover irrigation systems again. Well, it's been 2 years. How? Well, almost 2 years. July 2022. You might remember those videos. If you're brand new here, be sure to click the like and subscribe. We're doing gardening videos pretty consistently around this time of year. But the irrigation system, I'm going to show you everything you need. I don't unfortunately have the systems all set up for me right now, so unfortunately I don't have anything to go off of. I'll have to use some stock images and videos and even clips from that video I took. So let's get into it, guys. So right back here we have a hose nozzle and everything starts here. Well, actually there's stuff before which I'll get into later this video. It's literally all behind this wood pile over here. I have to get back here to show you, but you get back here and there is your hose nozzle right there. That's what's going to go out to the garden. So this starts at 50 pounds per square inch, or I believe it's like 340 kPa or whatever it was called, but I'll put the conversions on screen for you. So 50 psi is what you're going to start with. So that's the base. Then you just get a basic hose pipe which goes all the way over to here. Now that hose nozzle connects to your well, which we actually have two since this is an old-fashioned house built, I believe, 1829, 1828, somewhere between 1828 and 1832. There's our 500-foot deep well, and in the basement there's a 13-foot deep well. So you're gonna have a hose nozzle, and it's gonna go all the way out to your garden. And you're going to get it all the way out. And usually it starts right around here. This right here is where you get everything to just, this is the starting area. Now in these types of setups, it's really easy to get stuff like dirt and all that sort of stuff clogged into the pipes. So we want a way to make sure that doesn't happen and doesn't rupture any pipes, causing them to explode or even implode. You need a filter system, which, yeah, they are definitely part of the irrigation system setup. We'll talk about these in just a minute. We're gonna go through the whole system. So you start there, you go and you go out and you go and buy this sort of stuff. A filter is a must because it'll cause, did you see how tiny those pipes were that I just showed you? I'll show you again. Do you see how thin and tiny these pipes are? Look at this. This is very thin. Do you see how thin and tiny that is? Yeah. If you get the smallest amount of dirt in this thing, it's going to explode. So we don't want that happening, now do we? Each row, of course, gets their own timer because each of them require different things. The timer is going to dictate how much time you get and how much time each zone gets. Yes, there is zones when you're doing this. Let me explain. So these strawberries are on one zone. You have the tomatoes on another zone, and then way back there, that'll be the trellis and gourd zone. Every single thing gets a different amount of water based on the requirements. You usually go right in the middle when there's two numbers displayed. So if it's like 1 to 2, we go like 1.5 inches. If it's like 3 to 6, we go like 4 or 5. I don't think I know any plants that require that much water, to my understanding. So it'll dictate how long it runs for, and on average about 1/2 inch of water per hour flows into each system. So then you have your pressure reducer, and believe it or not, as I said earlier with the dirt, which causes clogging issues and could cause ruptures, pressure is another big thing. Remember how we talked about 50 pounds per square inch when it comes out of the hose nozzle and goes into there? Well, believe it or not, this is also a pretty big thing. If the pressure isn't right, it'll cause the pipes to explode. So it lowers that value from 50 psi all the way down to 15 psi, which is much more fitting to go through the poly pipes in and into the irrigation system, which of course, as I keep saying, we're going to talk about in just 1 minute. Just you wait. And you keep on, and it does the same thing every time, because if there's too much water pressure in there, it's going to explode. And of course, if you spend how much, like $250 to $400, depending on how complex you want it to be and where you get your parts from. Sometimes you can lower it down to $200. Usually on average it's $200 to $400. You don't want to put all that money to waste. Now, do you? If I were to spend $400 on something, I want it to last. I don't want it to explode on the second day. So now that all the water has been filtered, had their pressure reduced, and has been through the timer and the zones and stuff like that, now it's finally time to actually make it into the area where it will end up being. So you start right here. These are the poly pipes. They are these black long pipes that extend down that way. So you start off with this cap right here, And this is where it connects to all that piping and stuff like that. So you get into there, and then it goes in. The water will then go through here, and it'll flow equally to each and every single irrigation pipe. Irrigation pipes are really, really important to understand. Let me show you how they work. So this right here is your irrigation pipe right here. These are the tiny little things. I'm about to show you another big thing about these that's really important. Do you know how the water gets through these? You don't see any holes, right? Well, you have to look carefully. You have to take a second look at them. Do you see this right here? Maybe not, but if you didn't already see it, there's a really tiny hole there, and that right there is where the water comes out. Now you know it's really important to make sure the water pressure is 15 psi, or else it will literally explode. You don't want that happening. Those tiny little things can squirt a lot of water, so when you're setting it up, and if you have someone standing right in front of it, yeah, they're gonna get squirt. Maybe like not up to their face, but like maybe they might get like their pants soaked or something like that by the water. So you don't want to do all that. You want to just be chilling there, and be away from the irrigation pipes. You want to let them do their job, and well, most importantly, don't step on them. Most people, when they go out and do gardening work, they go out there in like boots or something like that. So they go out there and they step on everything, and when they're stepping on those pipes, it'll cause it to literally explode or damage it significantly, and that'll cause you to have to fix the irrigation pipe, which could cost nearly as much as it was to build it anyways. So just a quick recap before I show you what actually happens. You start at the well, you go up the pipe, the water goes up the pipe, and then it goes through the irrigation, then it goes to the hose nozzle, comes out at 50 psi, goes through the filtration, goes up through the filtration, and then gets divided into the zones. But before it does that, it has to be reduced to 15 psi. It goes through all this, it goes in the poly pipes, and it gets evenly distributed in between each irrigation pipe. And then it comes out again and waters your plants. So let me show you what's going on down in the basement with the well that we use for all the stored stuff. Let me show you. All right, so system is similar to what I talked about in 2022. So you go down this well, can't see the bottom, but I'll show you. 13 feet of water approximately in there. It goes up these pipes. It goes up this pipe right here, and then it goes through here, where as you can see, pumps at 30 psi, and it goes out at 50 psi, and then it goes in through here, up through here, not this one, sorry, but it goes through this white pipe right here, and it goes all the way over to here. And right here is where it gets distributed out to the nose, not the nose, the hose nozzle, and then it goes through the rest of the systems. So yeah, unfortunately I don't have any pieces right now. The irrigation system will be the same as it was for the last few years. We will use it again this summer. Hopefully this summer, instead of it being too dry to use it or too wet to use it, hopefully we have just the right summer this year. So the conditions of the summer will almost always matter to how well our irrigation system is needed. So last summer it wasn't really needed because it was too rainy. The summer before, the well was down to a foot out of the 13 feet. So like less than 10% capacity was there. So yeah, that's what all to expect. If you want to see me actually building one, I have a video linked on the screen just for you right now. I know I'm now kind of transitioning away from saying, oh, click the video on the screen, because it seems like the people more enjoy, like me just putting on a video of snow and then putting, oh, click the video. But yeah, there's a video linked on the screen right now just for you, chilling right now, waiting for you to watch it. It shows everything you need to know. I don't remember too well about the video, but you can click it. It's fine. Whatever.